understand one key thing. The light is within everyone. Now, we'll get into this here. We'll get deep. Let's see. The light is within everyone. It is the source. Okay? We use a symbol as a baby to illustrate pure consciousness. Whatever happens to that homeostasis determines the organism's constitution, its identity, and its identity beyond its identity, its subconscious beliefs, its subconscious and unconscious understandings. So, we look in this time and age, good time and age, right? And we see there is a lot of awareness. It is in the midst of ignorance that this awareness has been able to flourish. Now, we need to be clear. This is still an ignorant time period. But the ignorance of the time period is artificial. Think brain rot culture. This, you almost want to call it a CIA ploy. If we look at how authenticity generates in the being and how authenticity is rejected societally, socially, then we can see that fear, this is caused from fear. The rejecting of authenticity stems from fear. Maybe that person's ultra poor, gets beat, drug addicted parents. They're mean to you because you don't have that crutch, which means you're more authentic. You don't know what it's like to be in that person's situation, but all they know is to be in that situation, and therefore their homeostasis is filled with fear while yours is uncaused joy. Now we see how it works, how everything is within a spectrum of ignorance and awareness. Simple. 0 and 1. Simple. We see that our authentic expression, authenticity, as it is, vibrates at the highest frequency possible. So we can see the truth as authenticity. We can see the truth as, wow, this is the truth. One's own authentic expression is the truth. The truth is a social community that allows for the prosperity of a society. Now we can see how artificial it is. Now we can see giving billions and trillions with. Do you know how much money $1 trillion is? It's 1,000 billion. Yeah, maybe more. I don't know off the top, but think of even just think of 1,000 billion. Think of 100,000. Think of 100,000 million. Think how big these numbers are. I think it's like 900 million billion $1 trillion a year going towards going towards censorship, going towards what's going on currently with Palestine, going towards Ukraine, going towards families, rich families and secret societies at the top that think they own countries. This is a pivotal moment in human history, and this is why we're alive in this time period. Because it is a pivotal moment in human history, no one wants to go to work for nothing. No one wants to feel like a slave for no reason. But the reason is so that Zionists can be pigs. Oh, look at someone like Andrew Tate. But he made it though. He was poor. Why aren't you like Andrew Tate? This is the mind of the ignorant. It is. If we look at the value of a human life, we see its pure nature. We see it as the light of the divine, as existence itself. And we see from which the homeostasis is affected comes the amalgamation of experience that is called an identity. If the CIA, if the United States government, if Zionist pigs weren't actively bringing drugs back into the West on purpose, would there be as much drug problems? If there weren't as many drug problems, would there be so many broken families? If there weren't so many broken families, wouldn't there be more community and oneness? It is a matter of ignorance and awareness. It is a matter of truth and lie, authenticity and fear. What is it? Are you going to succumb to fear and oppression? Or are you going to have your authentic expression be known? Not to the world, but to God. To you, to the truth. God is not outside of us. God is existence itself. God is the light. You can choose to be in accordance to the light of your own source, or you can choose to play in the illusion of fear and separation. This is hell. Hell is earth. The illusion of separation. The devil is man. 6, the number of the beast. We must transcend our bestial nature to be in accordance to our light. So I'll ask you again. Do we all need to go become world famous kickboxers like Andrew Tate? And dedicate our life to generating wealth for the Zionist pigs? Just so we can have a little more wealth than everyone else? But in the long term, the wealth we've generated for Zionist pigs will overreach any wealth we gain? Or are we going to say, actually, this is outdated, we are angry, and fuck going to school, and fuck going to work? Do you know what would happen if 100,000 people didn't go to work for a week? Do you know what would fucking happen? Do you understand the power you hold? This is why it's artificial. Because they want you to develop a learned sense of despair. They want you to think you're inadequate. They want you to think that you are simply a number. Are you a number? Now this is where awareness comes in. Are you a number? Are you a number? Are you going to allow yourself to be as such? Or do you know yourself? Are you going to let someone else tell you who you are? Or are you going to tell them to go and fuck themselves with a cucumber until it turns into a motherfucking pickle? What's the plan? To me, All I see is more and more opportunity to transcend fear with every waking moment. I get woken up by a narcissist, and I like it. Something is there that likes it because it transcends the fear. It's nothing more than a deeply wounded and insecure individual projecting out the big pride. But big pride comes from small insecurity. In truth, we are one. We are stable. We are the same. There is only one source, and there is only one existence. Are you going to succumb to your fear? Are you going to shrink? Or are you going to be aware? Are you going to see through the ignorance of those who are ignorant? Because I'll tell you what, this learned sense of despair has been learned by, has been learned by, the mass majority. You must understand, you are existing. You're in a temple of consciousness. You are the one consciousness in a temple. You need to see through the fear of others as they are NPCs. They are capped out at a CPU level of ignorance. Are they bad? Are they wrong? No. They are simply ignorant. They are simply there for you to climb the frequential ladder of ignorance and awareness, and you must do this with humility, not arrogance and not pride, for that burns any kind of truth you might have. Pride is the worst sin. Why? It attempts to claim what it could never claim. God. You think you have free will? Think of a pure baby. Where's the free will for the baby? Where? There's no fucking free will. This is governed by things that are synchronized beyond time. The intelligence of our existence alone is God. So conquer your individual, subconscious, unconscious, body, mind, nervous system fear. And live from awareness, and you'll see, wow. Zionist pigs create despair, and then they in turn create ignorance, so that then they can look down upon the ignorant and feel better and feel okay about what they're doing. But in turn, the ignorance is created artificially. And the true ignorance is with the Zionist pigs, thinking they can run the world, thinking capitalism is... Do you know what's going on with the economy? Do you know what's going to happen in the next 2 years? Do you see the economic bubbles of AI, the housing? Do you see how that shit's going to fucking pop? Do you see the impending economic collapse caused by greed and filthy pigs called Zionists? All the Western Nazis got together and were like, you know what? Let's hide behind Judaism and call ourselves Zionist. It's like... The genociders must be genocided with awareness. Can't just go claim war on fucking Donald Trump. You think Donald Trump, like, what do you really think? Do you think Donald Trump's the top king? No, it's not. It's the corporations that influence the government. You know what happened to JFK? Why did that happen to JFK? That happened to JFK the fucking very moment he wanted Israel to assign as a foreign agent when it was giving money to politicians. Israel was created from the fucking Rothschilds. British bankers. Changed their name too. They weren't originally Rothschilds either. Israel is created from the West as something to hide behind Christianity and Judaism to conquer land, oil, and human beings. Are you going to be conquered? What are you going to do? You're going to just go to a fucking supermart and go, pfft. No, that's called being ignorant. That's called knowing something's up, but not knowing what, and being ignorant. With awareness, you can see, though. You can see every level of it. How people get to where they are. Why people do things such as that. But with your awareness, all you need is to use it to speak out, to embody your awareness. You think there's free will? This happened before. This has already happened. This moment is already happened. There is no time. There is only right now. Only right now. Truly and utterly only right now. To think anything else is to be ignorant. Oh, what about tomorrow? What about a second from now? It's right now. You must see through the eyes of the light with your awareness. You must see through the eyes of truth. On the frequential scale of ignorance and awareness, you must come back to your source and must understand the awareness, the lack of mind, the awareness. This is a temple of consciousness. You got emotional, physical, mental, spiritual body. The spiritual body is awareness. The spiritual body is your connection with your source. You strengthen and align all of these things with awareness. Earth, water, fire, ether. Mind, body, emotions, spirit. Connection with awareness. Are you aware or are you ignorant? What are you living out of? Are you living out of fear or authenticity? Are you allowing what you see to then be decoded by an ignorant mind? What is it? What is it? Face yourself, for there is no self. There is an organism. Awareness. Yet this will only reach who it must. This will only be understood by who it must. You must understand the significance of your awareness and at the same time the insignificance of the form. What is really going on is beyond human comprehension, for the human is a simulation. You must let go of your identity, of your body mind, of your concepts of self, because this is the thing that's tying you into the illusion of separation. If I am to cut myself across the face, will there be pain? Yes. Why? Because this mind-body organism is hooked up into a nervous system and a brain. Do not allow fear to dictate anything. Stored in your body, nervous system fear. Have the awareness to see through the body, the mind, and everything. Know that with awareness, everything will align. And it will. It is already aligned. It is simply a matter of seeing whether or not it's aligned. It's simply a matter of perspective. It's a simple matter of truth or lie, authenticity or fear, ignorance or awareness. Where there is only awareness, awareness must create the illusion to experience. Zero, wholeness, must condense itself into one to become polarity, to become ignorance and awareness. For there is only awareness. Only awareness. You can't miss in the end. You'll die and you'll understand. Can't ever miss in the end. Are you going to live in ignorance or awareness? Fear or authenticity? Are you going to make others uncomfortable, or are you going to be uncomfortable? Why are they being uncomfortable? Because they're insecure. Why are they insecure? Because it's artificial. It's learned behavior. Are you going to learn the behavior like a robot, or are you going to see with awareness, with the eyes of the light, with no eyes? What are you going to do? You just got to tap in. It's always here. It's always there. It is the underlying basis of everything, because awareness starts the whole thing. There must be ignorance for awareness and awareness for ignorance. So therefore, truth is truth, and then ignorance is created to then see the contrast in the truth, to acknowledge and love what is light, what is truth, what is existence, what is light. I encourage you not to try, but to make others uncomfortable simply by being still, simply by having posture that aligns with awareness. Why does that make others uncomfortable? Because they do not live in awareness. They live in ignorance. They live in concepts. They live in the mind. They live in what is not real. For they are not real. You must live now. You must be one. But it is not a matter of must or must not. It is a matter of either you realize you are, or you do not understand you are. But in truth, there is only awareness. Be aware in physical reality. To come out of ignorance into awareness is to transcend via understanding. It is simply a matter of ignorance and awareness and understanding. Such as I understand the narcissist for being truly and deeply fragile and insecure, I understand fear. Fear is the only illusion at play, and it is cause for every negative emotion. Anger, sadness, grief. The deepest fear, from which all fear comes, is the fear of death. The fear of not doing what you must have done. The fear of not the fear of death is the basis for all fear. And I tell you, I tell you what. One who lives in fear lives in illusion. One whose fear of dying overcomes them is one whose illusion overcomes them. That slipper deflected off of something on top of the fridge and went that way. And something went behind the fridge. There is nothing but awareness. There is no fear of anyone coming and yelling at me. There's no fear of anything that was on the top that may have fallen down. There's no fear of anything. Because I know the truth. I know that there is no death and there is no birth. But it's not I know. It transcends language. It is this form is surrendered to its source. Surrender to your source. You can see every level of subtlety within your own being. You can see a little desire to be like, oh, let me go back and look at that kick. But it's based in this simulation. It's based in this illusion. It's based in this fucking dream. There is nothing to fear. You could say there's nothing to fear except fear itself, but that's a contradiction. Contradiction is necessary for experience, but no fear. Have no fear. And you won't be fearful. It is what the hero does that the coward does not. They feel the exact same. I can't sit here and go, overcome your fear. Overcome your fear. I can't make you understand this. But the high frequency of simply aligning more with awareness will always have a positive, net positive effect on a lower frequency, simply due to how the number line is. If a high frequency is in the vicinity of a low frequency, the high frequency will affect the low frequency. The high frequency in authenticity will bring up the low frequency from its low frequency. Now, if the low frequency can handle it, great. If it can't, there's not going to be anything there, and the two frequencies will part ways. Don't allow your high frequency to take the negative effect. Because that actually needs to happen. So that then you can be put in ignorance to come out of it with awareness. Because it is simple awareness and ignorance. There is a reason for ignorance, and therein people fear what they do not understand. When you start to understand, there is no longer fear. The eradication of fear, the eradication of ignorance stems solely in the truth of existence, solely in awareness and surrender to your source. Wake up! Wake up! Doesn't matter. This here, making the video, doing this, raises the frequency. This is a meditation. This is authentic truth. This is aware, authentic truth. Not aware. This is source consciousness. Simply because it aligns with awareness rather than ignorance. It is closer to the source than ignorance. Because there's the source, and then there's the illusion of ignorance. This is not for me. This is not for you. This is the divine working as it is.